Welcome back. Tonight on Missing in America, we are diving into the case of Daniel Robinson, a 24-year-old geologist living in Arizona. His father, desperate for answers as to what happened to his son. Daniel has been missing, as we've told you, for more than 3 months, last seen leaving work on June 23rd. His car ended up here, crashed in the desert in a western suburb of Phoenix, with no clues as to where he might have gone. His father has turned to private investigator Jeff McGrath to help. And what Jeff has discovered is raising even more questions about what may have happened to Daniel. Jeff is joining us live tonight from Buckeye, Arizona. Jeff, glad to be talking to you. I wish it were under different circumstances, but we want to find Daniel, and this is the first step in doing so. I want to start with what police are telling us. They have said they have found no evidence of foul play or anything suggesting that a violent crime was committed. Do you believe that based on what you've seen?
Well, I haven't found any evidence of a violent crime that has taken place, but there's also no evidence to say that it didn't take place. We do have a suspicious circumstance, so
what is it about? I'm sorry, we have a little bit of an audio today. What is it about Daniel's car that strikes you as off in terms of where it was found, the location, what was left behind?
Well, the damage to the vehicle, it didn't match the area that the vehicle was found in. It had some damage along the driver's side that is unexplainable by the detectives. It also had some intruding damage into the windshield that didn't match anything in the area as well. Plus, I also had the airbag control module report that tells me what that vehicle was doing 5 seconds before the airbags deployed and what was going on with that vehicle since the airbags deployed.
And what does that tell you?
It tells us that the vehicle traveled another 11 miles after the airbags did deploy on that vehicle. It also tells us there were 46 additional ignition cycles on the vehicle after the airbags came out, and that the report says the vehicle was traveling about 30 miles an hour for 5 seconds prior to its final rest, or airbag deployment, I should say. And that's not possible in the area where the vehicle was found.
So piecing that information together, how do you think the car got there?
Well, I think the car got there by somebody was still driving the vehicle after the airbags came out. And if it was dumped intentionally or somebody was joyriding and that's where it ended up, and once it got there, you couldn't move it out from there, it tipped to its side. Or Daniel was in it. We don't have any proof to say that he wasn't, but we also don't have any to say that he was in it.
But his cell phone, his wallet, his keys, all still left with the car. Jeff, people describe Daniel's behavior, those who worked with him on that morning that he disappeared, as odd. What have you learned about his state of mind on the last day he was seen?
Well, what I did learn was that he was tired. The odd behavior, that's the only definition that I've been told was odd, so I don't know what they really mean by that. But his behavior when he was at the job site was that he was tired and wanted to rest. And I think he drove off and wanted to rest somewhere in his vehicle, is what I think.
And if he were resting, he'd still be near his vehicle. The other question I have for you, are police still actively involved in searching for Daniel tonight? Where does the investigation stand on the law enforcement front?
The Buckeye Police Department has turned the vehicle and all of the evidence over to myself, my team. So I have all the evidence. So if they're actively investigating it, they don't have any evidence or anything to really investigate other than they can come out here in the desert with us and help us.
Is that customary for police to hand over evidence to a private investigator in a case like this or any other?
Not at all, no. I've never seen it in my career in law enforcement or as a private investigator.
Why would they do that? Did they say?
They said they told me they were done with the investigation. They say now that they have an ongoing investigation. So I can only go by what they told me in person, was that they don't have a crime, therefore they don't have an investigation, so they turned everything over.
All right, we're going to follow up on that, Jeff. Crime in the desert, not uncommon, as you know. What dangers do people face in the Buckeye area in Arizona besides the elements of just being in the desert?
yeah, the elements alone are by itself is bad. But we border Mexico, and we have a lot of cartel and mules that bring drugs through across the border. They're found in these deserts quite often, and that could pose a problem for somebody that stumbled across them. There's people that come out into the desert all the time. They shoot guns, they drink, they do all kinds of stuff. The desert is known to be a place where you can go and you can kind of do whatever you want out there. So there's a lot of dangerous elements other than just the conditions.
Jeff, I know you're a private investigator and you have about 60 active criminal investigations open right now. You typically don't take on these missing person cases. What was it about Daniel's disappearance and case that motivated you to take it on?
Well, what it was I wasn't familiar with the case when I received the call. So I looked into it, and I agreed to meet with Mr. Robinson, and when I did, he showed me one photograph that was turned over to him by the Buckeye Police. And from the minute I saw that photograph, I knew that he needed at least a vehicle accident expert in his corner to wade through this, and that's when I decided to take it, and my team and I jumped on it.
And you've already found a lot of clues and evidence. Let's hope that these clues lead us in the direction of Daniel so he can be safely returned to his family tonight. Jeff McGrath, private investigator on the Daniel Robinson case. Thank you for your insight and for your time.
Thank you for having me.
If you have any information that could help bring Daniel home, you can send tips or information to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, or you can call the number on your screen right now, 803-200-7994.